Hey YouTube, it's Thomas here. So today I'm going to talk about the Mcintosh D150 DAC and also the Sony XA7ES. Now this Sony CD was about 4G when it was brand new, and this Mcintosh you're probably looking at 3.5 grand Canadian, and this one 4G Canadian new, right?
Plus tax.
Yeah.
4G.
So if you start adding the taxes here and there, we're looking about $8,000 of equipment here, right? So is it worth it? The D150 DAC and the Sony XA7ES. And this is not even a top of the line Sony CD player. All right, so there you go. This is the Sony. Look at how amazing it is, right? You have something on the top to stabilize it, and the transport looks pretty cool. The Mcintosh, well, you can do DSD. I forgot DSD64, DSD128. It's pretty impressive. So another good thing about the Sony is that you can use it like a preamp, right? You can control the volume on it. It has XLR output, RCA output, so definitely very high end. Now the reason why I want to talk about both at the same time is because we actually did an A/B test between both, right? You have a very incredible DAC, and let's talk about DAC, right? So we've been trying DACs for a while. I've gone through maybe 8-9 DACs. I lost count, right? And what I've noticed about high-end DAC is that, and the difference between high-end DAC and the cheap DAC is the fact that high-end DACs can give that silky smooth sound. And any DAC that you're playing with in the $1,000 range, it's good, but it cannot give that silky smooth sound. The way I defined it is like this, right? So you have the voice part, the mid-range, and then you have the details, right? So you can say, why can't I just turn off the treble in J River and get that smoothness, right? Because if you do that, you lose all the details. Now a good DAC like this, when it comes to the mid-range, is smooth, but the details are all preserved there. So you can really catch all the minute details, and yet the vocal part is not harsh. And only very high-end DACs can do that. In fact, I once went over to my friend's place. We brought this D150. He was using the oppo, I forgot, the newest one there, the one that uses the Sabre chipset, the 9028, I think. Now that DAC is about 1,000 something, right? His whole system was about 30K. So we're listening to his system, we're like, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. And then we put the D150, we changed it, and we're like, whoa. Now that was an amazing system. So ever since that day, for me, DAC is very, very important. It can make the difference between a very high-end system or a very mediocre system. So even if your whole setup is 30G, if your DAC sucks, if your DAC is entry consumer level, well then your whole system is entry consumer level. The D150, before we change it at his home, we're listening to songs like quickly one by one, we're trying different songs. But the second we put the D150 on, when he wanted to change song, we told him, no, stop, we want to listen to the whole song, because it was such a big change. It was that good. So what about this Sony? So we did A/B tests, and guess what? It's about the same. So that's why it's incredible. You're asking yourself, how can a CD player be $4,000? It's just hard to compute, right? But when I was talking, remember I was saying silky smooth sound? The Sony can do it. It's like we couldn't tell the difference between both. This is just more convenient, right? You can have all your songs on the computer. This, well, you have to put CDs in, right? But having said that, I mean, I would be happy with either of this system, or either one of them. The only difference is that this on the used market, you're probably looking, what, $7,000, $8,000? If you're lucky if you can find one. This on the used market, maybe in the 2Gs and up, right? 2 point something G. I think get either one of them if you come across them, and you will be impressed.